Okay, here we are with the day after podcast. A little different setup this time.
Yeah. You see, I put on a Frozen shirt today in celebration of Frozen 2,
Oh
and
yeah,
Joe did not want to be in the same room as me or
no,
anyone wearing a
yeah,
shirt.
it caused me a lot of disgust. I just couldn't let it go.
Exactly. But we put our differences aside as much as we can to
mhm.
do this podcast,
Yeah,
this show.
we still have to get the content to the viewers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the real reason is that I am currently not in LA. Um, as Ryan still is currently in LA. Uh, for the foreseeable future, this is just how these podcasts are going to be.
Fine. I don't have to wear pants.
Yeah, exactly. See, really helps you out in that regard.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Let's get into it. What? You know what? I was glad we got back to normal Survivor.
Yeah. It was after last episode, which was a lot. It's good
Yes.
that we got to the gameplay and stuff like that. Um, feel bad for Jane or Janet in the beginning
Yeah.
because she felt like her game was over because she misplayed an idol.
Mhm.
It did not necessarily end well for her, even
Yeah.
though she's in the episode the week before.
Yeah, I'd still say I was glad that she at least played it. Like, admittedly, it's always like, well, you could have played it like correctly, but I think it's best to just at
I'd
least
rather
play the idol
misplay than go home with an idol in my pocket or
or two
two.
idols in your pockets.
But, and then Karishma.
Oh, Karishma, yes.
It was like I'm the next one out and everything, and I'm like, Karishma, you were not even a hot topic last
Oh
last
no.
episode.
It feels like she's harming her own game by saying she's the next one to go when she's
Yeah,
not.
it's like I think it's paranoia, and I think in this episode, I'm not trying to call her crazy, but she was giving like very wide eyed and like she might have the stress might have gotten to her, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely the best episode of Karishma, though, in my opinion, of this
I mean, she
season.
found an idol. I was like, all people. I'm
I
like,
know.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm so excited. But the thing is, does she even need it? I feel like there's a lot of people that want to bring her to the end, thinking she might be a goat, but I don't think she's a goat.
I feel Sandra put it best. No, everyone wants to take Karishma to the end,
Exactly.
because who's really going to vote for her?
Exactly. She has rubbed people the wrong way. Uh, but I think it was just they needed to have someone in the preseason who's really bad at challenges and really focus on her. And I think that's what makes people think she's a goat. But I think she actually is not a goat.
I feel I don't think she's a goat. I feel she is a wild card,
Yeah.
as we'll discuss later on, like tribals.
Yes.
But like, it's because she doesn't have a alliance. In fact, really, I don't think there is a solid alliance in this game right now. And I mean,
Exactly. And especially after this episode, everything's now up in the open.
well, I mean, because spoiler alert. I mean, obviously you're watching this,
Yeah.
you've seen the episode.
Yeah.
Was this was a double elimination episode where basically tribes were the tribe was split up into two sections, and one person from each section was going to win immunity, and someone from that section would go home. Um, and when that happened, like when they divvied up everyone, I was like, oh crap! So one of these five people was going to go, one of these six people are going to go, and it's like, who out of it? Because like early on they were like saying Krishna, maybe Janet, because like if plan A doesn't go right, you have to have a plan B,
Mhm.
which, Murphy's Law, plan B usually becomes plan A.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think it was kind of weird that they chose to do this kind of split at 11 instead of 10?
A little bit, a little bit, because I was like, oh, so it's going to be 5 in one and then 6 in the other.
Yeah.
Um, However, there could be like interesting dynamics with both because oh, one could be. Let's say they do this again. I honestly think they should bring it back because it's something that
Mhm.
really shakes up the game.
Yeah.
Um,
I do like it. I do think though it's best in an even situation because it kind of made it uh more likely for someone to win immunity on the fives and but also at the same time more likely that you get voted out in that five.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there are pros and cons to both,
Yeah.
but I feel it was interesting because let's say there was a split in six, the purple side that went to tribal first. Let's say there was a split. It was like, oh shit, it's going to be interesting to see that dynamic.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I feel it was weird that it happened in an odd number, but I definitely think Survivor should make this maybe a staple of the
Yeah.
series
Hmm.
because I really like the concept.
Yeah, they used to do they did this back in Thailand, kind of, where it was kind of like the fake merge kind of thing that happened. There was something like
Yeah.
that. Um, but yeah, I feel like it's happened a few other times where it's like in the merge they do kind of like almost a tribe thing.
Uh, I remember with Cook Islands, it was like half of them were going to tribal and half of them weren't. It was kind of one of those things, but
Mhm.
I feel, yeah,
But
I feel like
yeah,
this is,
I think it was good because half the people had to go back to the old Lyro tribe, the
yeah,
camp, and so they couldn't talk with the people, other people, and try to formulate. Okay, let's get
yeah,
this person out and that person.
yeah, yeah, and I like that because it's like, because it could have been as like because you can't talk to your core alliance or other people or maybe your ally. I mean, like
Yeah,
Tommy didn't have Warren to talk to
yeah,
during this.
yeah. I
Um,
honestly, I think I would be way more sour on this twist if Tommy went home because of this twist. If because he
like
like honestly though, he very well could have gone home.
because I thought so too when he didn't win because the
Yeah,
name of the game now is get rid of the biggest threats.
yeah.
Tommy is one of the biggest threats in the game right now, especially once Aaron got voted off. It's like all right, physical threats. Dean put it best. Once Aaron is gone, the big physical threats are Tommy and himself.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. Even though Dean's, I don't even think is that much of a physical threat. Um,
He has a good figure. I guess
yeah,
that means physical
he's
threat.
the seasoned war dog. Like you think he should be really good in challenges, but he's not.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, now that Aaron's out of the picture, it's all up in the air.
Yeah, yeah, and Missy too. Those two were probably going to win a lot of
Yeah.
immunities. Yeah,
And the ones they don't win is the one where they go home.
yeah.
I mean, I was kind of sad to see Missy go, but at the same time, if it was Missy or Tommy, Tommy was my number one pick. I don't want him to go home. Missy
Yeah,
was, it was like, though
yeah.
I feel Miss with the whole Missy thing. If we're gonna start with their, tribal first, Karishma, I think she was. This is part of the thing where I thought she was totally in her head or like being a little bit delusional because in Survivor, if you're talking and you're trying to be direct, yeah, especially with someone like Missy who can seem, kind of extreme at moments or be sometimes when you're trying to drill a point through, it can
Mhm.
seem like you're being mean, but no, you're trying to get the point across and you're not like paying attention to that. As someone who has, sometimes I can have RBF, resting
Mhm.
bitch face. And then like if I'm really, really, really trying to get a point through, it might seem like I'm, being intimidating or angry with them. I'm like, no, no, no. I'm just so focused on trying to get the point across and so like, passionate about it
Mhm.
that I'm not paying attention to, having a smile on my face. and I feel Karishma just took that and just went the wrong way about it. She was like legit upset. It was like, you know what? I'm older than you. Don't tell me what to do. Like the
Yeah.
confessional.
Yeah,
Damn, it was like,
I definitely don't think she's getting Missy's vote if she makes it to the end.
especially after.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think it was just they didn't mesh very well, and because of that, Karishma was assuming she was the victim of it, and like we have had people get full on bullied in Survivor, and I
But
don't
this
this was not full on
not
bullying. No.
no. This did not seem like bullying. It seemed like people were talking strategy, and Karishma wasn't really having it. And
Yeah.
when she was looking like she was going away, I can understand Missy, where it was like being a little bit frustrated in the sense of like, why are you doing this? Come on! It's like, there. It's such an easy solution for Missy's game and for Karishma's game,
Yeah.
but Karishma totally ignored it.
Yeah.
So I can understand where
Yeah. Yeah, I do understand though why Karishma was more kind of like I don't want to go with Missy because Missy and her haven't really gotten along in the best ways, and I think she's wanting to jump full on board with the old Volkai. I think she wants to
yeah.
get on that Tommy train.
I mean, to be honest, there's not really much left. I think it's just
Yeah,
Elaine and her now. Wait, who was on the other?
the
Oh wait,
Volkai.
Dean.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
for
For Lyro.
there. Yeah, it's only Karishma, Dean, and Elaine now.
I feel like there was
So
someone else. I thought there was four.
no, Aaron went, Missy
Uh-huh.
went, because I have all
Oh yeah,
everyone
that's
down
right. 'Cause
right.
there were six. It was
Oh
six
wait,
five.
Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Yeah, that's the exactly. Yeah, it was like there should be four. Yeah.
Uh,
You forget about Elizabeth. She's kind of forgettable at times. Like certain
yeah.
episodes, she becomes the main focal point, and then all of a sudden she just isn't there.
Um, but anyway, she's still kind of on my shit list for last episode.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
um,
There's the winning the winner has got kind of narrowed down because of the last episodes. Because now it's like, okay, who didn't come out of that looking terrible?
but yeah, and so honestly, at this point too, I don't think they could easily go to old Vokai, but the same prospect, it's like right now, especially with the past couple of votes, it's like alliances aren't really a thing right now. Like, yeah, there are some people that really want to work together, like like couples, stuff like that. But no one is like hardcore. All right, this is alliance of five. This is a final three deal. It's
Mhm.
just like people that are like, all right, I really like working with you. Just kind of like Lauren and Tommy, and yeah, I don't really see much else other than that.
Yeah,
So I mean, hell, last episode, two old Vokai went bye bye.
yeah, and now too, Lyro went bye bye. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, it's because it's still up in the air now, like where alliances lie, especially after this, where like the merged tribe was kind of fractured. I mean, they were kind of fractured at the beginning with the whole Dan thing,
Mhm.
on like and kind of like because last episode it was kind of removed from the game. This episode they were kind of split up, the people that are left in the merge, and so now it's like everyone coming back together. We have
Mhm.
like what 3 episodes left before the finale.
Yeah,
It's crazy to think about.
yeah, I know the season's almost over.
I know, but um, it's so it's like, who do you trust now? There's like, it's like because there hasn't really been an official dominant alliance. I feel it's more like voting blocks this season than anything else.
Definitely, I think that's just modern Survivor now. Is a lot of people want to do voting blocks because I think, especially for the more strategic players, they can benefit it from it more than if you're in that core alliance. Because then you become like that group, and it's not really you; it's you're part of that group.
Yeah, and then people get butthurt if you get voted off from that group early, and so it's like, oh, I promised to go final five with this guy, but honestly, he's a bit of a threat, or he might be thinking of taking me out, so he's got to go. And then, like we've seen it time and time again, like, people building alliances with other people and it costing them the $1 million in the end.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like core alliances that go to the end only are going to happen here and there now.
Yeah.
Especially with the next season, I doubt that there's going to be just a core alliance. I think that's just going to be.
That's going to be a Russian roulette of like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, yeah. No one's going to know what's happening.
Careers are going to be ended next.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Legacies of certain winners could potentially just be gone.
Yeah, they're just screwing up everyone's records that season.
It's crazy. I've been like seeing a lot of people and like everyone's trying to give like spoilers and everyone has a spoil for winning. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, that's a great thing about a lot of people saying spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Their validity diminishes the more there are out there.
Yeah, exactly. Like this season, like all the spoilers are Tommy wins. That everyone is now spoiling that he wins, and it's like, well, that's the easy choice to just spoil.
I think they heard our video, thought I was right. I was like, yeah, Tommy.
Right there. Yeah, exactly.
Precisely. All right, so now we talked about the tribal for the orange side. Let's talk about can we talk about the challenge where it was like, all right, whichever side, lasts longest will get the...
Oh, yes. Oh, this is so good.
To be honest, in the back of my mind, I'm like, because a lot of people, after they win, they kind of break away from it.
Yeah.
I was wondering, is that going to happen? And of all people, it happens to Nora, and then...
Yeah, and like Jeff was in mid saying that she can keep going for the PB&J, and then she just goes woo, and then the best part was Dean's soundbite of just being stupid. That's stupid.
It was like, yeah, I might have not win immunity, but at least I'd get some PB&Js.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thought. Is like, okay, well, at least she can keep going.
Especially with my addiction to peanut butter, I would have been, if she didn't win immunity, I'm like, you're going home.
But she has immunity, That's the thing.
That's time. But then again, who's going to vote Nora out anyway?
Yeah, no, she's 100% a final three, right? Like, there's no reason to vote her out at this point.
No. We'll see. I mean, if there's a strong two, let's say it's Tommy, Lauren, Karishma, and Nora. Tommy and Lauren really want to get to the end. One of the two have to go.
Yeah. They might also turn on each other at that point. If they think that they both have played a strong game at that final four, they might turn.
Fair enough, but I mean, Tommy is, I feel like, in that scenario, the obvious winner. Lauren is move, but I don't think she has been making as big power moves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Karishma can only win if she's not sitting next to either Tommy, Janet, or Elaine. Those are the three people who I don't think she can win.
I feel the only chance I can see her winning is it's Dan, Nora, and her.
Really, I think she can beat Dean. I actually even think she can beat Lauren. And who else is left? Elizabeth.
Elizabeth depends on how she does late game.
I think Elizabeth has turned people away from her too.
Maybe, but especially if they really emphasize the fact that she lied about Dan doing stuff.
Yeah, I just think that Karishma's going to start controlling a lot of the game, and we don't think she's going to.
Because I was actually surprised when she did not play her idol, because especially with how her track record on the show, she seems to be a very paranoid person, especially in this game. The fact that she did not play it, I give her props because, I totally expect her to misplay it.
Same.
So, she might actually surprise us. But I don't know. I can see her winning only in that final three scenario.
And that is not a good final three.
And I wonder how that final three would, what set of circumstances would happen for that to happen.
I don't know, but if Dan makes it to the final three, he's going to get torn up. I don't want to see him in the final three for that reason.
No, because I don't want that.
I want it. In fact, I almost don't want him to get voted out at the same time because I would like to watch the Ponderosa videos, and I don't want to see that Ponderosa of Dan.
Oh God, I am so sorry for him.
Yeah, I want to hear what happened to him after the season airs.
Oh yeah.
Because I wonder if he's going to get lose interest in a lot of his talent that he hires. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's my
thing. No problem.
But yeah, I'm just not. Well, hopefully, I mean, there are a lot of good players out there, so we'll see.
Yeah, I still want Elaine to win.
I mean, I'm still thinking Tommy or Janet. I feel Janet has a really good story in the sense of like she's overcome that. She, in the name of this game where it's like eliminate the biggest threat, Janet is technically still not the biggest threat.
Yeah.
There is still Tommy. There is still Dean in a way. I feel that it honestly depends like how far. I feel she is a threat, but not the biggest threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I don't think a lot of people out there think Tommy is that big of a threat. I think we think he is because he's being portrayed as the biggest potential winner. But I feel like a lot of them people out there, they think he's just like this cool guy who's just kind of trying to get along with everyone.
I mean, yeah, but like I said earlier on, he seemed like a sleeper threat, and I think even today, where he was like, "If you try and go after me, I'm gonna go after you," and like even flat out fucking said that in front of the jury and everyone. He was like, "Hey, I heard you say my name, therefore I'm coming after you."
Yeah. Oh, can we talk about Missy's line about how that's not how the jury's supposed to look when she saw Aaron on the jury?
It's like, well, I mean, I guess because if your ally is up there, then it's like, oh crap, because even after the tribe swap, they were together, and so it's like seeing him up there, it's like, oh no, it could be the whole old Vokai and old ties thing. But then again, well, I mean Karishma, but actually, yeah, Tommy was the only original Vokai member on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
I guess that could have been a good sign for her, and if they were going by, like old tribe alliance wise, but still. But for Aaron, I feel like I thought he wasn't gonna last this long, to be honest. But I feel like because he is he won 2 challenges in a row,
convincingly.
Right. Like Janet might be a threat in a sense, or she might have like issues at camp, but at the end of the day, like I would suffer a little drama in camp than being in Ponderosa missing out on the chance to win a mill.
Yeah, exactly. I think that you have to get someone like Aaron out the first chance he doesn't win immunity.
Yeah, I mean, like, see it all the time. I mean, Ozzy, I mean, like, anytime he gets to the merge, like, he's the first one to go if he doesn't. Malcolm, except for Game Changers, that still hurts me today.
Yeah. But, and then you see people like Mike who just wins every immunity, just left just all the way down and just wins because he just kept winning.
Exactly. And I mean, like, because that's what you need to do to get to the end if you're seen as that big a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially with the theme of that season, working hard and everything for, white collar, blue collar, and no collar. It was like,
Yeah.
like, oh, working hard. So like that whole thing of like working hard, busting your butt manually
Hmm.
paid out for him in the end.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, can we also go back to my favorite part of the episode, Rat Rishma?
Rat Rishma.
Yeah, with the when the rat got into
Yeah.
Krishma's. Yeah, you know how there's
Oh,
Rattly from Samoa? It's Rat Rishma.
Rat Rishma. I, I was like, oh no, not again. Or I feel like
I'm saying I think this was foreshadowing that she's gonna pull a Natalie White.
you may have a point. Um, if Karishma wins because of that little foreshadow you saw, I'm giving you major props.
Yeah, I think there's something there. Honestly, like she has a winner's edit, but it's a subtle winner's edit. It's not in your face. It's very
I
subtle.
I legit cannot see her winning unless it's that final three that I said. I
I
mean,
don't know how funny it would be if she's in there with Tommy and Elaine and she wins that. How funny would that be?
I would not know what to do. Dumbstruck. I would have to get the after, the day after episode would just be me with my just looking like this and just Joe talking about everything, and I'm just like giving not even words, just like, uh, not even.
Yeah, it would be very interesting television. But I think it might ruin the season if that was the case. Like if she wins, that doesn't ruin the season. It's if she wins over Tommy and Elaine in a final three.
I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like I just don't really see her winning.
I still do. I still think that there's that chance.
Well, I mean,
But to be fair, I
nine,
still think Tommy has the number one chance to win.
oh, definitely. Uh, Speaking of winners and losers, I think it's about time to our picks for the best player and the crap player.
Oh yes. So my best player is Karishma. She killed it this episode. She found an idol. She got the she was the swing vote and she got out Missy.
I'm gonna give it to Elaine. So
Elaine.
I feel she won the immunity, and she was on the winning side of the vote, and kind of made an ally with Tommy, which he's powerful. Like if Elaine furthers that relationship, that could be a final three deal potentially.
Yeah, that's a good choice. But you gotta Karishma's just she's got I think she's gonna win.
Her game was good. Her gameplay this episode. I'd say if we had a most improved player of the week, it was definitely her.
Yeah.
Best wise, I would have to say Elaine though.
Yeah. I don't know that sell that she did when when she found the idol and came back with only 2 coconuts. She got caught.
All right.
That was so great.
It was organic, yes, but I just feel. I mean.
Yeah. Also, can we go back to remember when she got her finger cut and no one went to help her? Everyone went to help her when she said she was feeling a little down and like a little sick.
Like I said, that was just like an over dramatization of it, maybe with the editing.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I can't imagine no one would even look over their shoulder just to see what she learned about.
Yeah.
But that wasn't even bone. It was a freaking piece of rice.
Yeah.
It was clearly a piece of rice. She just got cut. She's all white.
Yeah. Apparently she has a scar now, actually, from where she cut herself.
I, you know, Survivor souvenir.
Yeah.
Makes
Okay. Who is the worst player? Let's get to who played the worst
sense.
game. Because there's no standouts for me.
Nor do I. I mean, it's tough to say
Hmm.
because I don't think it was necessarily bad gameplay that got anyone home, um, or anyone that made like a fatal mistake. Not even like Missy going to Karishma because no, that's what you do,
That was a
and
good
it's just
move. Yeah.
Karishma took it the wrong way. Um, I don't know. It's like you said, hard to say. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know because like maybe I
Do you
don't
want me to
think.
go first? I can go first.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So I am choosing Miss Missy, but not for going to Karishma. I'm choosing because when she got voted out, she took forever to
yes,
leave.
that a
That
lot.
alone, that's why I'm giving her the least valuable player.
That was yeah. I was like that was probably the longest goodbye ever. Like
Yes.
she was hugging everyone on the way
Yeah,
out,
she
and
was
I'm
trying to do strategy as she got voted out.
yeah. Which I mean, I think that was more like she got mad because Elaine betrayed her and was like, make sure do something to her.
Yeah.
Um,
I think next episode is going to be a battle between Elaine and Elizabeth. Well,
possibly.
I think Misty might have set that up.
They didn't really give much out for next episode. Really, it was more
Yeah.
like it was pretty generic.
Yeah.
All right, if I'm gonna choose everyone, I'm gonna say maybe Aaron in the sense maybe he should have tried harder to get Janet out or to make sure because like he knew he was a big physical threat. Maybe
Yeah.
there was something else he could have done. Um, but yeah, I'd say if anyone, probably Aaron just for that.
Okay, so we each choose the person who got voted out.
But at least from the, I mean, sometimes, especially, I
Yeah.
mean, especially since no one necessarily made a bad move.
Yeah, no, there was no bad moves being played here. It was just like you got to choose someone, and
Yeah,
there's usually the people who get voted out did something, and it's like, well, in this case, they're the only ones that really screwed the pooch.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe
And so
Elizabeth because now her two closest allies are voted out, but that's not even her
I
fault.
mean, that can't necessarily help that, except for vote for someone else.
Yeah,
And no,
exactly.
the other one had no say in whatsoever.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'd say maybe out of everyone, she's in the worst position.
yeah. She's not going into the next episode. Great. I could see her going home next.
Maybe, I mean, still got Tommy out there. You still got Janet. You still have a couple of big threats still out there. Granted, it's shrinking down. There's nowhere else to hide really, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Everyone knows everyone, and everyone knows everyone's game.
I know it's like, and plus with six more tribal councils, well, five, and then two people going to fire. It's like uh, you really don't have anywhere else to hide. It's like if you're seen as a threat and you don't have that necklace around you or in your pocket, you might be done.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was a little upset there was no Island of the Idols this episode.
I think
Um,
because they couldn't fit it in.
yeah, yeah. I was really surprised when Immunity came so fast. I was like, damn, they just like went straight to it.
That's in a sense because technically they had two tribal
Yeah,
councils, but they had
exactly,
it in two different strategies.
exactly.
Um,
That's where that came in. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we've covered mostly. Is there anything else that you remember from the episode? Oh, sorry.
um, let me check my notes.
oh,
Uh,
oh, oh.
no.
Missy having to bring up another social political points.
All right. I kind of I agree with Jeff Probst on this because, like, for
Uh-huh.
me, I didn't even see it that way either. I was like, all right, two strong players got the thing.
Yeah.
As someone who, like, I mean, I don't necessarily see it in that regards when, but, someone like Missy, where, like, it is, very, very relevant to her. And, like,
Mhm.
obviously, like, it's a huge deal, but it's more like a thing of like, oh, they didn't say anything. That's strange. It's just like for Jeff, like he sees two contestants winning immunity,
Mhm.
and that's how I saw it. Like I wasn't. Um,
Yeah, I don't think race about that kind of stuff. I think, oh, that person's really strong. Oh, that person is also really strong.
but I get why she brought it up because it is something where I feel like, oh, it is in a sense a historic, survivor, thing that happened.
Mhm.
But, like in the moment where, like it's not on the forefront of our mind, it just kind of blew over us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm just a little annoyed that every episode has to have some kind of social issue that they're trying to tackle. And like I
yeah,
was so excited because I was like, they didn't do it this episode. That it didn't happen. And then just at the end, just a little slide.
yeah, I guess, yeah, it happens. And it was like, okay. Like I said, it's not something I really noticed. In fact, if she didn't say anything, I probably wouldn't have even like realized, oh wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Uh,
well,
okay. Well, I think that's about it for this episode of the Day After podcast.
all right. We'll see you next week where we don't know what's gonna go on because, like I said, the little tail end preview for next week didn't really hint at anything.
Yeah. Hey, that means that we are more invested to watch the next episode.
I mean, yeah, totally. But I was like, give us, you could have given us a little something, maybe like loved ones.
Yeah.
Could loved ones be next?
Oh, that's probably it's at 9. Yeah, it's probably happening within the next couple. Either this episode or next one, probably.
They have to. There's only like 3 episodes left before.
Yeah.
And I don't really
So
think they have
yeah.
time for in the finale to do that.
Yeah. So it's probably in the next 2 episodes, I'm guessing.
Definitely, definitely. So maybe loved ones.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the loved ones, but we'll get into that next time.
Okay. All right. Well, see you later, guys.
See ya.